Today on Midnight Cab, Krista demands a look at the cab company's accounting books. Walker trails Mr. Piatelli late one evening, and a mysterious blonde drives off with a bundle. Here's the mystery of the hidden man.
Walker, where are you now?
Hello, Krista.
Hello, Walker. Where are you now?
10th chapter, page 187.
Not your novel.
Last word, tuberculosis. Property, 3 chapters left to write, and then I'm finished. Finished.
What part of Toronto are you in now?
Oh, Queens Quay, Harbourfront.
Guess what? Martha just took 4 steps right across the room.
You're kidding.
Oh, I'm not. She did it just now. She took off and walked right across the room.
That's incredible. That must be some kind of record or something. She's only 9 months old.
10.
Yeah, well, just the same. I didn't walk until I was about 1.5 years.
I didn't walk until I was 5.
Yeah, well, geez.
April 28th. It's weird how you get so wrapped up in your own head, you forget or just don't want to see that everyone else is carrying around a hidden world too. We're all like walking icebergs. When Krista was little, she had to wear braces on her legs. Now she uses crutches or a wheelchair when she gets tired, and now her daughter's taking her first steps. 10 months old. It didn't occur to me to think what a huge moment that would be for Krista. I just went by it. So she brings it up as a kind of joke, and then we both just go by it. But we lose something. In a way, it was the same with Mr. Piatelli, except in his case, it was Krista too. Because we were so involved in ourselves, we didn't see him. We only glanced at him long enough to see our idea of him. But what was written in his face, in his eyes? What questions could we have asked? We just went by.
I'm bored.
Well, who isn't? I mean, we all get bored sometimes.
You're not. You're writing every chance you get.
Yeah, well, I think Martha wants some more applesauce.
I've got some good ideas. I don't see why I can't talk to him about
Give
them.
me the spoon, I'll do it. Here comes the choo-choo. Mr. Piatelli's kind of touchy.
So I should go on dispatching the rest of my life when I own half the company, just because some man might get upset if he has to deal with a woman with some really great ideas who might change his stupid way of doing things? What about me? What about my life? I want to do something interesting, too.
No, right. Talk to him. You want me to be there, too?
Well, yeah.
Ho, ho, ho!
What do you mean?
I mean it is to laugh. You don't know nothing about business.
Geez, Mr. Piatelli, other times I've heard you say Krista runs this place all by herself.
Yeah, maybe before she got married and started running around with you. Who are you anyway, her mouthpiece?
I know a couple of things. I know you threw the front door keys of this place into a poker pot one night and lost, and Daddy bailed you out.
And I've been paying for it ever since.
No, you haven't. Daddy hasn't taken 1 cent out of this place. Look, it's no big deal. Now he's moved back to Greece. He wants me to look after his interests, that's all. He signed everything over to me. I just want to see a list of the company's assets and liabilities, Alfonso, so I know what I've got. And I have a couple of ideas, too. I just want to use my head for a change, okay? Instead of saying thank you for calling AP cabs all my life.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, well, Muttonhead, who asked you?
I did.
Well, I didn't. I didn't ask neither one of you to come marching in here like this, like you own the place.
I do own the place.
Yeah, well, now, you listen to this. Do you know when you're going to see my company's confidential papers? When hell freezes over, that's when you're going to see my company's confidential papers. Now, you get the hell out of here. Both of you, get out.
Even then, we went right by it. All I noticed was that his face, usually pale and damp, had suddenly turned red as a beet. So we left.
Yeah? Well, guess what, Alfonso? I'm going to call my lawyer. You big fat soup. Walker, Are you awake? I want to see all the books.
What?
I want to see all the books.
Oh, right. I wonder what time it is. Oh, look, it's 3 in the morning.
Algiaqueta.
Who?
Algiaqueta. You know, he's been Alphonse's accountant for years.
The little guy in the fedora with the huge nose.
He does the books.
I thought you used...
No, I just kept the receipts, disbursement, stuff like that. He does the audit, taxes, everything. He probably knows more about the business than Alfonso anyway. I'm going to see him tomorrow.
Yeah, well, Krista, you know what? I thought Mr. Piatelli might burst a blood vessel or something. Maybe we should let him have a little time to get used to the idea of you being his business partner first. He's kind of overweight.
He kicked us out.
Right. He hasn't been babysitting lately.
Well, that's because Paula's been babysitting.
Yeah, but it's been a couple of months, hasn't it? And didn't he say he shouldn't babysit that night he called to cancel? I can't remember. But he's crazy about Martha, and he's never really asked since. You know, he sold his antiques.
You're kidding.
According to Joe, every doll, buggy, toy.
Martha loved them.
Yeah.
You're right.
What?
I've never seen him so crazy before. I want to see those books.
So let's see. AP cabs. Here it is. Year end. All you'd ever want to know about a company managed by my friend Alfonso. Successfully. By himself. For nearly 30 years.
Thanks.
I wonder why Georgie didn't send copies of these.
Maybe he didn't think you'd need them.
Mr. Giacchetta, this figure here, $56,780.24.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I know how much cab licenses go for and more or less how the business works. Because I just haven't been dispatching all these years.
You've been keeping your eyes and ears open.
Yeah.
You always struck me as a very smart person.
Well, so I can look at a figure and say that's about right. But not this figure.
Nothing wrong with that figure. It's the reserve fund.
The reserve fund? What's that mean exactly?
It means exactly investments. Modest but growing. That was part of the agreement. Except for unavoidable expenses, any net profit should be invested, rather than refurbish the building or buy a whole new fleet of cabs like that. Georgie likes to keep a tight rein.
Mr. Giacchetta, could I see the books on the investment fund, please? And also, I'd like to see the actual certificate.
You would?
Yes.
Well, it's like this. You'll have to get permission from Mr. Piatelli.
Why? I'm the
Majority stockholder, yeah, I know. But I don't hold the certificates. Your boss does.
And that's how the investment fund became like an obsession. Krista got her father's Toronto lawyer to call Mr. Piatelli to say she wanted access to the certificates. Mr. Piatelli said, "When the moon turns blue," or words to that effect, and added that if she didn't quit bothering him, then she, along with her mutton-headed husband, would be looking for a new job. Krista wanted to take legal action. I said, "Why don't we give him just a little more time to, come around?" She said I was a gutless wonder. I said, "Yeah, right. I hate money. It ruins everything." 3 nights later, I was driving cab, Krista was dispatching from home with an attitude, and I pulled into the garage around 11 to talk to wonder mechanic Joe Smart about another tailpipe that had just fallen off when I noticed our car, Krista's 79 Toyota Tercel hatchback, orange with black racing stripes, was sitting out front.
Over and out.
Hey, Joe. What are you doing?
What?
Are you dispatching?
What's it look like?
Like you're dispatching.
That's probably the first time you've been right all day, eh? When God said, "Here comes a brain,"
Joe.
You thought he said, "Here comes a train," and stepped out.
Where's Krista?
What?
Joe Smart. Right. Mr. Piatelli wasn't around, which wasn't surprising. The last while, he was either always out or sleeping in his office or not to be disturbed in his apartment upstairs. Krista wasn't around either, not in the front office or in Mr. Piatelli's office, or anywhere. I climbed up the black metal steps. It was always a tough climb for Krista, but she could make it if she wanted to. We still had the key to the apartment from when Martha was first born, and Mr. Piatelli used to babysit her while Krista dispatched from the garage below, back when we were all friends. The door was unlocked and open a little, and it was a bit of a shock because Mr. Piatelli's apartment looked really bare, abandoned somehow. Then I realized it was all the antique dolls, his whole collection. There was nothing left, and dirty dishes all over the place. He used to be like neat. There was a light coming from his bedroom, and on the bed, surrounded by ledgers and papers, sat Krista.
Oh, God. Walker, what are you doing? You could have given me a heart attack.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this against the law?
Walker, it's gone. $56,000.
You're kidding.
It's all gone. He's kept a record. Look, he sold everything. Mutual funds, GIC, stocks, all gone. He can't do that. All the investment fund transactions had to be approved by my father, too. It's in the agreement. That's why they're still carrying that figure on the statements, or Daddy would have known.
That's illegal, isn't it?
Everything he does is illegal. Oh, I'm going to sue him, and then I'm going to kill him.
When were they sold?
Over the last year, in dribs and drafts.
Krista, he wouldn't do this. Unless he was in trouble.
Oh, he's in trouble, all right, the big crook. Why would he do this to me? To us. He's our friend, isn't he? I've known him since I was 2 years old. What's going on in his head, Walker?
I don't know. The next few days we tried to stay calm and think. Mr. Piatelli must have had some good reason to, well, steal. No wonder he didn't want Krista snooping around. So what was the money for? And had stealing changed him over the last year? We didn't know. Did that mean it hadn't? Or that we just hadn't really looked?
Maybe he's gambling again.
Maybe.
He's an addictive personality.
How can you tell?
I don't know. Because he's fat.
Is that scientific?
I don't know. Walker. Maybe he's in debt to the mob. That's the only reason he's stealing. If his life is being threatened. Oh my God, they're going to whack him.
Krista.
One thing became evident as our imaginations got wilder. We didn't really know Mr. Piatelli at all. A week later, I was sitting in my cab in front of that all-night coffee shop on Church above floor, about 2 a.m, when Mr. Piatelli drove past in his classic 1959 pink Cadillac. He looked pale as a ghost as he drifted by. I hesitated for a moment. Then I followed him. Along Davenport Road, almost to the corner of Dovercourt, and then he wheeled into a parking lot in front of a lonely-looking restaurant surrounded by dark factory yards and buildings. I drove by, around the block, then pulled slowly into the lot with my lights out and parked. I could see Mr. Piatelli through the plate glass window, sitting at a red arborite table. And sitting there with him was this beautiful blonde.
What? Yeah. She was like really classy, dressed like, I don't know, upscale, Yorkville.
How would you know?
Right, but classy anyway. I mean, for Mr. Piatelli. And he was talking to her, and he was touching her cheek and holding her hand.
He's in love? Again?
Sure looked like it.
What was she doing?
Just kind of watching him.
How old was she?
I don't know, a lot younger than him. 30? They went out, got into this new white Buick Riviera, drove down to this condo on the lake, disappeared inside about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, God, this is awful, Walker. You know what you've done? You violated a friend's privacy.
Yeah, so did you.
I know. So, what do you think?
I don't know. What do you think?
Do you think he's keeping her or something? Do you think she's his mistress? He wouldn't be so crazy as to spend all his money and rob and everything for a car and a condo for that woman, would he?
Before they left the restaurant, she said something, and he actually kissed her hand. He was so intense. The way he was looking at her, it was kind of pitiful.
I'm just gonna kill him.
Mr. Piatelli. Mr. Piatelli.
Hey, kid.
Hi. I saw you come back to the garage, so I thought I'd, say hello.
Yeah? Why isn't that door locked?
I guess you forgot. What are you watching?
I don't know. Funny guys running around in robes. That one there's God or Moses or somebody.
Can I sit down?
Sure. Does your wife know you're talking to me?
Yeah, well, she's worried about you, I guess. Well, we both are.
Hey, don't worry about me. I'm doing fine. I'm great. God.
What?
That one there, God. The way you tell is he's the only one who doesn't look Jewish.
I see you came home in a cab. A diamond cab. Mr. Piatelli? Mr. Piatelli? I saw you earlier in the caddy. So I followed you to that restaurant.
Oh?
I saw the lady you were with. Real nice. And her car's real nice. And like the condo right on the lake where she lives, it's real nice too. Mr. Piatelli, we know the company's investment fund, the certificates, over $56,000 have been cashed.
I'm not going to ask you how you know that. Because I don't want to get angry. I want to stay calm. You understand? Are you my friend?
Yes.
Then get up and get out of here now.
No, not until I'm finished. Mr. Piatelli, I drove back to the restaurant. Your Cadillac was gone, and you came back here in a cab. Your antiques are gone. Everything's gone. You're not some millionaire. You have to tell that woman who you really are. You can't buy her everything and keep her in some kind of penthouse condo or something, and her car. Did you buy her that car? How can you be that desperate for love? I mean, I understand. But how could you be? And it isn't love, Mr. Piatelli. It isn't. So what's so funny? It's my daughter's future I'm talking about here. If you bankrupt this company, Mr. Piatelli, it's Martha's future.
Yeah, I know that.
So are you going to tell that woman that you can't go on, that you're broke?
It'll be okay. Hey, why don't you get out of here? Come on, you're ruining my movie.
Right. So, are you going to tell her?
Don't worry. I got it covered, kid. It's all covered.
Yeah. It didn't look covered. Mr. Piatelli's waxen face stared up at me out of the gloom of his apartment, his eyes shining with tears. It didn't look covered at all. So early the next morning, I drove back to that woman's place.
Hello? Hey, sleepyhead. Yeah, you.
Oh. What?
What are you doing? Sleeping on my car?
I wasn't. I was just kind of leaning on it, waiting for you. I mean, just to talk. What time is it?
You notice my hand's in my purse?
Yeah.
Want to find out why?
No.
Then why don't you take a long walk down that way while I get in my car?
I drive cab for your friend. Mr. Piatelli?
Oh?
Yeah, he doesn't know I'm here. He'd be real mad if he knew I was here.
I'm real mad that you're here.
Yeah, but I want to explain something to you. Mr. Piatelli's actual situation, you see, he's sort of, well, he's actually ruining his life over you, and he's going to destroy everything he's got, too, because he's stealing money, you know. Well, I'm not asking you, do you know, and I'm not saying that, but, like, you know now. And I think it's because he's trying to make you think he has more money than he has. This condo and this new car, and it's just too much. He can't do it. Am I making any sense?
Marginally.
Oh, good. So anyway,
you think
Mr. Piatelli bought me my place. And my car.
I don't know. I just know he's crazy about you. I mean, he loves you, and he's going through money like a madman, selling all this stuff. It's funny? He thought it was funny, too. I don't think it's funny.
You are way over your head, Sonny. So you're a good friend of Alfonso's.
Yeah.
I know your friend spoke. You know what that makes him? A pain in the ass. Because I'm not in the business of buying used pink Cadillacs, you know?
What?
You think you know your friend well, do you?
I guess so.
Then how come you never noticed?
Noticed what?
Hey! Look, I like him too. If you are his friend, you'd better help him. Because he's in real bad trouble. Like, sick, you know?
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, but I just couldn't believe it. I ran back to my cab and roared out of there like, sick? He's sick? What kind of sickness? Where you sell off everything you've got and where you steal when you run out of stuff to sell? Over your head, son. Oh, God. How could I have missed it?
Joe, is Mr. Piatelli in?
What?
Mr. Piatelli, is he here?
What's it to you? Took out a cab.
He doesn't drive cab anymore.
Maybe he does now. Left you a note on the board. Pink slip, eh?
Where?
Double shifted a cab this morning, didn't you? Another driver was waiting, man. You don't do that, man.
Oh, jeez. To my friend, the nosy kid from Big River. A couple of things you should know. One, you are absolutely right. I'm
crazy in love. What can I tell you? And two, I wouldn't hurt Krista for the world. I'm sorry I yelled at her, okay? I forged her old man's name on the stock certificate. I could have done the same on the cab licenses. Whatever. But I didn't. Not yet. But I don't think nothing's safe no more, you know, so I gotta do something. It's about 8 o'clock, right? You just come on the night shift. Do me a favor. Call the cops. Tell them to look for an AP cab outside a motel, corner of Kingston Road and Richmond.
Take care of your family. Your friend. Oh, God. What time is it? 3 o'clock? Joe! Joe!
What?
What time did Mr. Piatelli leave?
Half hour ago. What's it to you?
I set an overland speed record driving up Kingston Road to Birchmount. Saw the cab sitting outside, pounded on the motel door. No answer, so I ran to the owner to let me in the room. And there was Mr. Piatelli, fast asleep. Empty pill bottles all over the place.
Hey.
Hey.
What are you two doing here? What am I still doing here?
Alfonso.
Oh, come on, don't blubber on me, all right? Give me a break here, okay? I just got mixed up. We must have taken some wrong pills or something.
The doctor told us.
What?
He saw the tracks on your arms.
It's in your blood, Alfonso.
Yeah?
Heroin? Heroin?
Oh, don't say that. Come on.
Alfonso!
I'm stupid, all right? I don't have any brains. I'm ashamed, okay? I'm ashamed.
How did you? Why?
You don't want to know.
Yes, I do. That's the problem. I should have known a long time ago that something was wrong. Before you started music. Why didn't I know?
What would you have seen? Nothing.
Maybe we would have. I don't know. Loneliness? I don't know.
Yeah, well, how lonely can you get, huh?
I saw that woman, the blonde. She told me about you, more or less.
Nikki.
She didn't tell me her name.
She wasn't the one. I mean, you were half right in a way, but not Nicky. Just business, you know, she sells drugs. You don't want to know. You don't want to know nothing about me.
Yes, we do. Tell us.
Never go to the races. Yeah, sometimes you meet a class of people that are too fast for you. Too much money. Too much everything. I met a woman there, a friend of Nicky's, turned out, about a year ago. See, everything always starts out ordinary, you know, gradual. No warning. She liked me. Believe it or not, she liked me. And I sure liked her. Thought I won the Triple Crown. I fell head over heels.
You always fall head over heels.
No, this is different, though. She was elegant, classy. She was also a drug addict.
Jeez.
Now you tell me whether you think Alfonso Piatelli has enough brains to say no when a woman like that has a little something she wants to share with him. When she says, oh, it'll just be like the time that I had the ulcer operation. I was flying on some drugs. Just like that. No ragged edges. No mirrors looking back at you saying, hey, what are you doing here, Alfonso, you 50-year-old fat, brutal clown? Does Alfonso say no? When he can belong everywhere and everyone's his friend and everything is just all right, and he can forget who he is and what he doesn't have. So what do you think? She said it's all right, just a little, just under the skin, you know, the skin pop. We'll catch you a small groove, baby, and then we'll be together. Oh, I wanted to be with her. I didn't want her to go away. I wanted to escape everything else in my life because when I was with her, I realized there was nothing else in my life. Alfonso did not say no.
Alfonso, we were in your life.
Krista, you don't know nothing. I'm lying here looking up at you, right? Oh, I love you like you were my own kid or something. Would never hurt you. But I don't know how to live on the scraps from other people's lives. And all I'm thinking right now, God, where am I going to get my next hit? You don't know nothing.
I don't know what Krista was thinking. She just sat there. She sat there beside him all night. It's weird how you get so wrapped up in your own head, you really don't see anyone else. Mr. Piatelli, not coming around to see Martha anymore. Mr. Piatelli falling asleep in his office. Mr. Piatelli carrying some desperate, lonely world around inside. Just the fat guy who owns AP Cabs. Sitting beside Krista and Mr. Piatelli in that hospital room, I know what I was thinking, feeling. I was feeling scared.
Midnight Cab was written by James W. Nichol. David Ferry was Walker. Jacqueline Samuda was Krista. Howard Jerome was Mr. Piatelli. William Colgate was Joe Smart. Louis DeBianco was Al Jaquetta. And Lori Hollier was Nikki. The recording engineer was Joanne Anka. Sound effects by Matt Wilcox. Production assistant Nina Callahan. Music by Milan Kimlicka. Midnight Cab was produced and directed by Bill Howell. It's going to be on again, this particular edition, this Saturday evening on The Mystery Project on CBC Radio, 6:30 in most of Canada, 7:30 Atlantic Canada, 8 o'clock in Newfoundland. I'm Sheila Rogers. You're listening to Morningside on CBC Radio. We'll be back for another hour right after the news.